All right, let's look at question 1. We need to simplify this expression here. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can take some perfect square roots out of 8. I know I can break that up into 4 times 2 under the radical. And on the other guy here, I can do 16 times 2. And now let's actually take the square root of these. When you take the square root of 4, it goes away. It is no longer underneath the radical. So what is the square root of 4? It's 2. So we're going to take 2 and we're going to multiply it times the number on the outside. It's going to give me negative 6 times the square root of 2. Now on the other expression, the square root of 16 is 4. We're going to multiply that times 4. We'll get 16. Notice that I'm bringing down the subtract sign. And at the very end, you'll notice that I have like terms. I can put square root of 2's together. So let's do that. Negative 6 minus 16 is going to give me negative 22 times the square root of 2. So my answer is C. And you can actually take the calculator. Take your calculator. You can type this expression in. It's going to give you a nasty looking decimal. And that number is going to match up with letter C. All right, let's look at question 2. 2, we are going to simplify underneath the radical. The one on the left is already simplified. We cannot take the square root of 2 perfectly. And so the square root of 16 is 4. Simply just take the 4, put it on the outside of the radical, bring down what you have left. Let's combine like terms. Square root of 2's can go with square root of 2's. 3 minus 4 is negative 1 times the square root of 2, which is the same as C. And again, you can use your calculator to check that. Look at 3. We can break up 32 into 16 and 2. Take the square root of 16. Don't forget, when you take the square root of 16, it is going away from that radical, from underneath the radical. Square root of 16 is 4. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8 times the square root of 2 minus 3 times the square root of 2. And when we combine like terms, since we have square root of 2's that can go with square root of 2's, we will get negative 11 times the square root of 2. Our answer is B. All right, let's go to 4. We're going to do 36 times 2 for 72. And then for the square root of 200, I'm going to do 100 times 2. And I can take the square root of 36. I can take the square root of 100. Let's do that. The square root of 36 is 6. That's the number that comes to the outside. That'll give me 30 times the square root of 2. The square root of 100 is 10. That'll give me 50 on the outside. We have square root of 2's that we can combine. So we do 30 plus 50, and you're going to get 80. 5, we are multiplying on this particular problem here, so we're going to do the outside numbers. 1 times 2, that's going to give me 2. And then we're going to multiply the radical. 3 times 3, that gives me the square root of 9. Can you take the square root of 9? Yes, I can take the square root of 9. And when you actually take the square root of 9, which is 3, the rules don't change. It says take and multiply that 3 times the outside number. So since there's nothing under the radical, this goes away. So then you just do 2 times 3, you get 6. 6, let's multiply the outside numbers. We're going to negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. And then multiply our radicals. 3 times 2 is 6. And you're done. You cannot simplify the square root of 6. And again, you could use your calculator. You could type in this problem, and these two answer choices, or these two pieces right there, will match up in the calculator. And then 7. There is a 1 here and a 1 here. If you want to do 1 times 1 is 1, you can. I'm just going to simply just multiply the radicals. 2 times 3 is the square root of 6. I cannot simplify the square root of 6.